Hello you lot. Today I want to tell you a short story of a monkey, but not just any monkey, the Hartlepool monkey. The Napoleonic Wars, 1803 to 1815, were a series of conflicts fought between the First French Empire under Napoleon and a fluctuating array of European coalitions, but don't worry, this isn't really about the war, or Napoleon for that matter. You can breathe easy. It is, however, important to understand the time period and the historical context. That context specifically pertaining to the fact that Anglo-French relations were not so great, shall we say. So, imagine the shock of seeing a French vessel floundering and sinking near the coast of Hartlepool. Where is Hartlepool, I hear you cry? Well, it's here. See? Hartlepool. Well, as the tale goes, some chaps were walking the coastline when they saw the struggling vessel. These chaps ran down into town to report their findings, and after some time a group had assembled to go and inspect the ship itself. On small boats the group set forth, rowing through the morning mist to a mass of floating debris and groaning tattered form that was once the proud French ship. Upon arrival, the sight was bleak. No survivors. The cold sea had claimed the lives of all the sailors on board. Well, all the sailors except one. Clutching onto a floating wooden barrel, the sailors saw a figure. A small figure, small and exceptionally hairy. They had found a monkey, not just any monkey, the former captain's pet monkey. And, interestingly enough, this monkey was dressed head to tail in a French uniform. A mini French uniform on a monkey. Imagine finding that. It is totally hilarious. Anyway, what makes this so significant? Hartlepool is a long, long way from France, and most of the populace had never met nor even seen a Frenchman. Some cartoons of the time pictured the French as monkey-like creatures with tails and claws, so perhaps the locals could be forgiven for deciding that a monkey in its uniform must be a Frenchman, and a French spy at that. French monkey spy. Now, the law stated any French military personnel in England at the time was to be hanged from the neck until they're dead. But of course, how could we be sure that the monkey was French? I imagine the locals had some issues with extracting information out of it. There was only one way to be sure, and of course, that way was a trial, as you do. There was a trial to ascertain whether the monkey was guilty of spying or not. However, unsurprisingly, the monkey was unable to answer any of the court's questions and was found guilty. The townsfolk then immediately dragged him into the town square and tried to hang the poor monkey. It's important to remember at this point that throughout all of this, the monkey was still wearing his little French uniform. They didn't take it off him. No, he was still wearing that little uniform. However, when trying to hang the French spy monkey sailor thing, the executioner and his team were running into an unusual challenge. The monkey kept climbing up the noose and taunting the crowd from atop the gallows. This is another amusing image. There was one recollection saying the monkey was defecating into its own hand atop the gallows and throwing the feces at the audience. As one could expect, this didn't do much to elevate the monkey's position amongst the English populace. In a usual execution, you could expect maybe an unruly executionee, flailing, fighting, etc. So what do? You bind their hands. But even when the monkey's hands were bound, the cheeky bugger was able to ascend the rope with his little monkey feet. This went on for some time, and it went on to an unknown end. What I mean by this is we don't really know what happened. Was the monkey eventually successfully hanged? Did he manage to run off? Maybe finding a disguise of, I don't know, an English uniform. Who knows, maybe he ended up at the Battle of Waterloo. Whatever fate befell this monkey, he has provided an interesting historical footnote in what was otherwise a brutal conflict. fuck it, I'm making it canon. The monkey escaped and joined the British ranks. He ascended to officer, saw out the war, and moved to the south of France to live the rest of his days with his little monkey wife. A happy ending. There could, of course, be a somewhat darker side to this tale. Maybe they didn't actually hang a monkey, but a small boy, or a powder boy. Small boys were employed on warships of this time to prime the cannons with gunpowder, and were known as powder monkeys because they would get gunpowder and soot all over them. But that is a horrible thing to think, so let's pretend I never offered that as another explanation. It was a real monkey and he escaped to the south of France, etc. Over the centuries, the legend has been used to taunt the residents of Hartlepool. Indeed, still today at football matches between the local rivals Darlington and Hartlepool United, the chant, "Who hung the monkey?" can oft be heard. Most Hartlepoolians, however, love this story. Hartlepool United's mascot is a monkey called Hangus the Monkey, and the local rugby union team, Hartlepool Rovers, are known as the Monkey Hangers. The successful mayoral candidate in 2002 local elections, Stuart Drummond, campaigned dressed in the costume of Hangus the Monkey, using the electoral slogan, "Free bananas for school children." So, if you ever find yourself in Hartlepool, first of all, sorry, but second, think of the little French monkey and have some fish and chips. Au revoir, and stay coy.